Hello, I am the Derelict King, and today we're going to talk about the City of Bones. Not the City of Bones, the City of Ashes within the City of Bones series. We've already gone over all of the characters and most of the story, so we can pretty much just go straight into the book. Um, so it goes straight off from where the first book had left off with Jace and Clary finding out that they are siblings. So they kind of avoid each other for a while, and Simon and Clary kind of start getting together, and they're living at Luke's house for a bit, and that's where they also meet Maya. Yeah, this werewolf girl that I think eventually Simon's gonna end up being in love with and stuff. But the most of the book is about the angel sword that is the same sword that drove Adam and Eve out of the garden. Valentine got a hold of that. That was in the Bone City where the I know I'm stuttering a lot. I'm sorry. Where the Silent Brothers are, Jeremiah. I really liked him. He was really cool. But he dies in this book because they send Jace into the prison area there because they suspected him of being a spy for Valentine because he's their blood and all that, not blood brothers. And the Inquisitor comes down and puts him in prison. That same night, though, he comes and steals the sword, and that's where they also find out that Clary's runes are more powerful than normal runes because she just completely destroys the entire gate that he's in and all of the manacles inside and all that. It's really weird, but apparently she can create new runes and stuff now, and Jace can jump from any height and not take fall damage. But that makes the Inquisitor suspicious even more than she already is. The Inquisitor is a higher up conclave, by the way. And at this point in the book, I'm really impressed by how much better the book itself has gotten. Like, from the first one to the second one, it becomes really less girly and less feminine, and it kind of takes a little bit away that mentality that Clary kind of had. It's still from her perspective, which I don't enjoy. I'd rather it be from Luke's perspective, but sometimes they do put it in Simon's perspective because he becomes a vampire. Because when he was turned into a rat, he had bitten Raphael, who was the pack leader or the clan leader of New York. He had bit him while he was a rat, and some of the blood was in his mouth, and that's how vampires get born, is they share blood with humans. And he was driven there. They called him a Darkling, I think. And sorry, they called him a Darkling, and Darklings are naturally drawn towards the person who bit them, and so that's when they get drained completely, and then they get buried, and they reawaken as vampires, and otherwise they're in a state of coma for all eternity and can never wake up. Really sucked. So he becomes a vampire. Maya hates him for it. And Valentine, at the same time, Valentine is trying to get the blood of a bunch of different creatures. Fairy, werewolf, vampire, and warlock, and I think that might be it. He was trying to get the blood of a bunch of downworlders so that he could corrupt the angel sword that he has so he could control his own army of demons, which he partially succeeds until they go attack his boat and destroy it. And like in the first book, the parts that I really enjoyed, the fight with the demon, the greater demon Abaddon, they had a lot more cool fights in this book. There were a lot more of them, and I really enjoyed it. It was really cool, and a lot of it's really kicked up. It's gotten a lot better. I'm really excited for the City of Glass and what that one's gonna have to offer, which I've started reading yesterday, and I will have that book finished hopefully sooner. I am going out of town next week, Monday. Yeah, so hopefully I'll get a video in before then. I hope. If not, then I'll release that video as soon as I get home. Excuse me. And it really has gotten a lot better, and there's a lot more to look at in this book than there was in the first book. In the first book, the love interest with Clary and Jace was weird. In this one, like, you're still in the back of your head. You're like, this is really nasty. They're brother and sister, and Jace is still trying to get with Clary. But at the end of the book, he decides, like, hey, you know, she's my sister. I'll just back off, you know. And Simon and Clary start going out, but that doesn't last very long because they go to the Sealy Court, and the fairies are not allowed to lie, and they needed some information from them. I think. Oh no, she requested an audience, and they had tricked Clary into eating some of the food. It was more like she had grabbed the cup, and like there was a little bit of a juice on the cup, and like a little fey thing or something bitter on the finger. So she put her finger into her mouth, and she ate some of the food. If you eat any of their food, you're their property now. You belong to the fairies, which are, by the way, the fairies are half angel and half demon. They're as beautiful as an angel, but as cunning as demons. They're not very nice. No, not very nice. Not nice people. And she says, "I want you to give the kiss that you desire the most." And the kiss that was desired the most was between Jace and Clary, which Simon didn't like, so he stalked off, and that was when he went to Raphael. Not by his own doing, he just kind of ended up wandering there as a Darkling. Nothing, like, it's not bad of him being a Darkling, it's not like he's turning into, like, some kind of weird monster, it's just kind of, they call Darklings, it's the phase between being human and then being vampire. He doesn't physically change or anything, as it seems, but he, in the end of the book, he can also go in the daylight, apparently. Really ruined that scene, because it's like, oh, they're finally gonna have some kind of tragedy. Simon's gonna die again. But no, it doesn't happen. The fight at the boat was really cool. They had a bunch of demons there, and I think all of the shadow hunters that were able to fight and that were in New York at the time were there at that fight. Not enough though. There were a lot of demons, and the only reason that they were able to win was because Clary had put an unlocking rune on the ship, and every rivet and everything on that ship just came loose, and just the whole thing just fell apart. Yeah, Clary can make new runes, and she can make her previous runes more powerful. She created a fearless rune so that Jace could fight Agramon, the demon of fear. Sounds like a Digimon. But he's the demon of fear, and he takes what you fear the most and uses that to feed off of your fear and kill you. That's how he was able to get blood from all of the other things. Like the Warlock blood, it was at the very beginning of the book. What the Warlock had feared most was a demon getting out of the pentagram that keeps the demons locked up, basically, inside of the pentagram, so that they can talk to them or use them or whatever else they planned on doing. So Agramon used that fear to get out of the pentagram and kill the Warlock, draining all of his fear essence thing. I don't know really what it is, but it was really interesting. The fight with Agramon was a little disappointing with Jace, because it was just like, steel pipe! Yeah! Okay, I guess that's it. You know, Luke and Jace are a cool team. But because Chase had the fearless rune on that Clary had made, he wasn't afraid of all the blood he was losing, and it was kind of partially becoming a problem, actually, because he knew he was supposed to be afraid, because that fear creates that adrenaline for you to want to stay alive and all that, but he wasn't getting that when he was fighting the demons, so it was becoming a little bit of a problem. He was getting really more cocky than he usually is, which was not good. But overall, though, I got 1 minute, the book was better. It's a lot better than the first one was. I really enjoyed it. It was really good. The fight scenes were amped up. The characters have been improved drastically. I'm starting to take a liking to Jace, still not so much Clary. I mean, I can see how people are, like, some people can connect to her, and some I just really can't, honestly. But I can see how some other people could. You know, she isn't a horrible character. She isn't the worst one I've ever seen in my life. You know, she's the dullest of people. But where they're going with the story, I can really tell that she's planning on bigger things, the author of this book. She's really planning on some really big, very dangerous demons starting to appear. And we still have one more instrument, because they said there was 3 of them, I believe, so. There's the Mortal Cup, the sword, and then something else. But anyways, that's it. I would give this an 8 out of 10. Definitely worth reading. Definitely worth checking out. It's really good, and you should really, really look into it. Like these books, like the first one, just it's really feminine, but it gives you the basic story. It gives you everything you need. It has one or two cool fights in it. Read it, then get to the City of Ashes really quickly because that is really good. And City of Glass is also being very good as I am now because I think I'm into chapter 1 or 2 right now. It's really good. But if you guys are watching and you're enjoying this, or if you have any suggestions on how I can do these better, like if you need me to take note cards or anything of certain facts that I need to like remember and talk about or anything like that, or if there's anything in general that just kind of ends up coming up, but anything like that, just put it in the comments, like, subscribe, favorite, whatever. Thank you for watching. If you did, I will be making I will be making more videos, and hopefully I will be doing some more video recording as soon as I get better equipment. I also may be doing live streaming soon with a friend of mine that I had met in GameStop, and we might have some of that equipment set up, maybe, possibly. I hope that turns out well. I'm a freaking blast on live stream. I'm kind of blah right now. I'm a little tired. I'm a little worn out, and I've been talking for 10 minutes straight. I'm gonna go now. Goodbye.